Yeah, there you go. Hold on. You're looking good. And they can hear that.
You're not sharing your screen.
Oh, sorry. Okay, now you're real.
Hey guys, sorry for all that. Oh my gosh. I've had one hell of a week and oh my god. This was like 2 minutes in the making, grabbing Oz and having him help me out with this. So sorry for all the mess. It's just last minute. Seriously, I just texted him when I was trying to go live on Hangouts, and um yeah, he had to hurry up and develop the stream off of the streams I've already developed. So hopefully,
I did it. I did it. You know, you got to give me credit for doing it.
yes,
It
thank
worked.
you. Thank
Yeah.
you so much.
Yeah.
It's been one hell of a last 2 weeks. It's been freaking crazy. And um I really intended to be on like twice before today, but you guys hear us okay. Let's just get that out of the way. We have one more than one stream open. Um that's weird. Do we? Oz?
Maybe.
It's very possible because I opened like 10 trying to get it to work and I couldn't.
Well,
It's
remember those old double mint commercials? Two Chris's in one. I love it. Two Chris's in one. Yay.
So are there two streams with me being live, or I'm confused?
I don't know. Is it an echo? Is that what they're saying?
It's repeating out of sync
Oh,
is what
cool.
Veg is
That's
saying.
really different. Okay. Okay. Let's try that. Is that better?
I don't know. Is it better, Veg? Hey, good morning, Chris Foster. I was just on a stream with Gordon Dimmick where Chris Foster was there, and that was really very.
No, it's okay now. Everything's fine. You got it.
We're okay. We're good.
Yep, you're
Good.
good.
Good. Good. Thank you, Bill. Thank you very much. Um. So, did you see Gordon Dimmick's live video that he did? Just curious. Hi, Trev. Hey, Veg. Anthony, thank you for coming. All of you guys, thank you. This is really crazy, but hi, Jilly. Yay, glad everything is fine. Yes, refresh. That might help, Veg. I don't know. Um, but yeah, who I know Veg was there. I know Chris Foster was there for Gordon Dimmick. Um, um, there was a few people there that were on his. Oh my gosh, he is really upset about the way things are going, and I don't blame him because I'm kind of having the same feelings that he was happening. Yeah, I know, Anthony, you were there. I talked to you on that. You can't help but get depressed with what's going on in this world, and how bad the elite is treating us right now. It's impossible to explain all the feelings you have with all that. And my week has been horrendously horrendous. I mean, okay, so I'm a sales rep, and I have 40 stores that I service. Oh, good, thanks, Veg. Good now. Um, oh, you were watching my video before this? Yeah, that's when I was just chilling in front of the horses and philosophy. The horses make me just be very philosophical. They just do. And I was talking about herd mentality and all that. But the whole thing that got me onto that was Gordon Dimmick's video and how he was just in pieces. I don't know how else to describe it about everything that's going on. I probably still have dirt under my fingernails from gardening, but it felt really good to get my hands in the dirt today. And I didn't put makeup on. I didn't do my hair, and I don't even give a crap. I'm done giving a crap about those kind of things. I don't care. Um, Hi, Steely Steve. Thanks for joining us. You have faith in the U.S. government? They'll treat Assange fairly. Grumpy face, yeah. Exactly. I mean, okay, the US is supposed to be free, right? Yet there are states that are trying to make it illegal to protest. How anti-American can you get making protests illegal? That is somehow just not right. Define fairly. And yeah, I think Silly Steve is being sarcastic. At least I hope he is because of that frowny face. Or I don't know what kind of face that is. But there's two feeds. Dejarn. How do you pronounce? How do you pronounce his name? Wars start with false flags. Yeah, and there's been a lot of that. They're trying to start a new war with Iraq, with bombing those ships. And oh my gosh, our government is screwing us over so badly. What do we do? Protests are going to become illegal. They're taking our options away as far as pharmaceuticals, making plants illegal to use as medicine. Um, well, it's getting better in some states, but we're still battling it. Barney. Okay, Barney. I'll call you Barney. Thanks for coming, Barney. But I am so frustrated. And then, okay, just this week, not okay, 2 days ago, there was a huge thunderstorm. There were 5 fires set off by lightning in the mountains in June. This is when all of our water is coming down off the mountains, all the snow is melting, and we've had a horrendous amount of snow, so there shouldn't be fires. 5 fires were started by thunderstorms. We had several electric poles that came down in my county. And then we had a power outage in my area yesterday. My sister, who lives like 2 blocks away, had a power outage the day before yesterday. Our system is going down and is going down fast, and the way people deal with that is going to be freaking crazy. As coincidence, let's see, quitting voting Nazis. Yes, Trev. Yes. Um, Bonsai Bolton. Let's see. You can say what you want about Twitter, but if Trump or his minions don't like what you tweet, they'll use tactics to make you feel badly. Yeah. Yep. So anyway, so much has happened. And then there's your corporate overlords that you work for. I happen to have really good bosses as bosses go, and they were in town last week, and they went home, and then on Tuesday I get a call from my boss asking me where I was because he was in town because there was this big um, thing going on, right, with one of my accounts, and it came out of the blue, and I was already stressed enough before, and then I took a breath of fresh air because the last walk with my big bosses went really well. And even though I've been totally distracted with the world coming to the end, it's like, my bad. It's like the world's coming to an end and I'm a little distracted. So I made it through that walk and everything went well. I got a lot of kudos and stuff, and they're patting me on the back and all that, and I make it through that, and make it through the weekend, just catching up on my own life and taking care of animals and all that. And I have a dog that's pretty much in hospice that I'm taking care of and stuff like that. And then Tuesday, I get a call from my boss saying he's back in town, and so another round of let's please our masters comes around, and it worked out really well. I guess I was dead tired. Like I worked till like 8 o'clock every night. From I'd get up at 4:30. I always get up at 4:30 in the morning, and I'd work till 8 o'clock at night every day. And I got to the point where I just came home and passed out. It was it. I was done, and I'm just so tired. I was like, I need to go on live. I had all these people that wanted to do interviews with me and do shows with me. I'm like, I don't know how I can do it. Got to the point where I was getting so anxious that I couldn't even look at my messages because I had people requesting me to go with on live with them, and I couldn't do it. I just got too much anxiety, and I had my CBD oil, but I gave that to my dog because he needed it more. And so I'm out of CBD oil, which was helping my anxiety because I couldn't take my pharmaceuticals anymore. And I'm just waiting for my plants to my other medicine to grow. And that's the other thing that's going on. Oh my God. Okay, before I go on and on, Oz, what are you going through right now? Because I know everyone's going through all this stress, and we need to talk about it with each other. And I know you're going through a lot right now. Talk to me. Tell me what's going on.
I have never been so depressed in my life about everything. I mean, once you come to the realization of what's going on, what our governments are doing, and what's happening with the climate, it's like, I'm like 59 plus, and I've got a daughter who's 28, and I've got all of my neighbors' children. I see kids, newborn babies, and I look at them and I'm thinking, Jesus, what are we leaving all these? What are we leaving these generations through
I've
our?
been thinking that for years
Yeah,
before I knew how bad it really was. I
yeah.
was thinking about that when my nieces and nephews and grandnieces and nephews are being born. I'm like, ah, you really want, and you're happy that you're having more babies and you're planning for more babies when what is happening is happening. And this is
Oh,
before I knew what was really going on.
yeah. It's like, are you kidding me? I mean, once you come to the realization, and this week has been particularly depressing because the amount of waste they're finding in the oceans, in the sea life, the whales that are dying. We had right up here in the San Juans, we had another big whale die, and it's
Oh, there's
just,
been lots of them washing up on
yeah.
shore, and
And
a lot of it's the plastic in the gut, or they're emaciated.
they're starving to death. They're starving to death. And then you look down at where was it? Louisiana, that new dead zone, this year's dead zone down there that is like over thousands of square miles. I mean, is that? I don't know. Why don't you ask the girl? How do you deal with this kind of depression? Do you just bury your head in the sand, or do you just live
I
it?
can't.
Do you?
I
Yeah.
can't. And then you're trying to talk to people, your loved ones that you're close to, and tell them what's going on, and they don't believe you.
Well,
They
and
think
yeah.
you're off your rocker.
Yeah, my daughter, I had this conversation with her last year. I was really depressed. Same time of year, we were driving down. She starts crying because she knows her dad's never lied to her about anything. And I was just going off. I was having one of those moments, those feel bad moments, self deprecating moments where I told her, I go, we go through our lives thinking one thing, and then we find out how everything's going to shit so fast. And I promised myself I'd never have that conversation with her again because it broke my heart to see her crying when she was perfectly fine 5 minutes before,
Yeah.
and it's,
It's hard to share it. At the same time, my dogs are all going nuts. There's a siren. But at the same time, I would feel guilty not letting them know what's going on. So I want them to live their life to the fullest while they can, and maybe fight to prolong
yeah,
um,
well, yeah,
what we
live each
have.
day, yeah, live each day as you can, but it's your choice whether you're going to live each day ignoring everything and stepping on the gas, or you're going to live each day trying to help that time, that block of time to maybe a point where something, a miracle would happen, through intervention like sustainability and a real Green New Deal that's based on being stewards of
Reality.
Mother Earth reality instead of capitalizing their way out of it, which is obviously impossible. I
Yeah, and that's what they're trying to do is they're trying to make it into a money maker, into more growth,
Yeah,
which growth is the last thing we need to sustain anything on this planet, to sustain any kind of ecosystems that are left. Growth is the last thing we need, and that's horrible. See, that's where it's conflicting, and that's my conflict in my mind is I want everybody who is here to do well. I don't want the rich to be overlords to everybody else, and I want everybody to have the best life they possibly can. At the same time, if you give everybody a great life, there's consumerism will increase, and the natural world will be eaten more and faster. So what we need to do is make sure that the overlords, the elite, at least they have to feel the pain as much as we do.
Somebody linked me to the discussion in Congress last week on the climate crisis, and I listened to it. It was about an hour and 20 minutes long, and they were asking these notable scientists or Page Hills, whoever they were, and I'm sure there were some real scientists. They were asking them all kinds of questions about how they did the means testing and the models and everything else. And it was like it was a show, and it kind of broke my heart because on one hand, sure, you need to talk about it, but you better do something. And I kind of poo-pooed the link to everybody, or everybody in that particular group, and I said, "This is wonderful that they're talking about it, but they're not going to do shit about it." And
Mm-hmm.
and I got nailed for it. And I said, "Look, the best thing we can do right now is quit fucking around with these idiot congressional paid off shills and get in the streets if you want to do something about it and
Yes.
try and do a sustainable lifestyle, whatever. Or go out, step on the gas, do the consumerism, and burn yourself down." I mean,
I don't agree with that because
I know.
okay,
I
what if
don't
there
agree
was
with it either.
something you
Yeah,
could have done and you
right,
didn't do it?
right. I can't go to my grave thinking that I didn't do everything I can to help instead of hurt. That's
And
my
I think,
point. Yeah,
oh,
I agree.
I, oh my gosh, you guys are, I love all you guys. Hey, Book Hermit's here. I haven't, I saw you at the very end of my last live video and I didn't get a chance to say hi, but I really appreciate you being here, even though don't agree on everything. I, I, I just appreciate, his views on overpopulation and all
Sure.
that. That's really important because that is the cause of everything else that's happening. And until people realize that, that's just the way it is. Um, yeah.
Well, you're talking about it. You're sincerely caring about it. Where most of these people, they're thinking of it in the culture they were raised in, this capitalistic culture of
Growth
growth and
and it is wrong. The wealth distribution and all that is totally wrong.
yeah, it's
But
the me
but
generation. Yeah,
we need to think of things in a totally different manner. We need to totally rearrange all of the culture in order to save anything. Just considering the ecosystems is more important than everything else.
no, I couldn't
I
agree
don't.
more. Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, okay, what I've been through this week is just horrendous. There's some new people here. The wait, CLC has the MSM even said climate crisis yet, or they still call it a problem? Yeah, they're still calling it. Yeah, well, we can still fix it. All we need is solar panels and windmills. And I don't agree that that is going to solve everything because when you're building solar panels and you're building windmills, it's going to take from ecosystems. All the materials you need to build those are going to have to be taken from nature. And plus the transporting those from where you build them to where you need them is going to take up fossil fuels. So, and to do it on the level that you would have to do it to reorganize our entire power structure is going to be so detrimental to the environment that I don't see how that's going to help. And on top of that, no matter how much you increase the use of windmills, so-called renewable energy, that has so far, even though they've increased the use of renewable energy, they have not decreased the use of fossil fuels. And they're going to use those fossil fuels till every last drop is used up. And meanwhile, they're killing the planet. So, hey, Batman fan and Torstein, hello. Um, Death Cafe. I can't get used to your new name, Trent. That's just the hi, Trent. Um, Malcolm, thank you. I haven't seen you before, but thank you so much for coming. You said that you gave your CBD to your dog in your last video, and it had me dying. I don't know why it had you dying, but CBD is great. It helped me so much with my anxiety and pain. And my dog is in hospice. He's 14. He's a German Shepherd, Malamute mixed. He has hip dysplasia and all that. And the CBD oil has been amazing. He went from laying down, not ever getting up and not eating, to getting up and eating. So it's been amazing for him. Yeah, hola. Oh, Curious 49, Roundup the Planet. Don't even get me started on Roundup. I can't talk about it that much. My boss has told me I can actually talk about it to customers, so that's cool. So I'm going to be talking to a lot more people on the yeah, on the ground floor level. Um, but yeah, Roundup is a totally different thing. My dog is crying. God, Buck, you're fine, buddy. So anyway, watch every foreign car maker leave GM, Chrysler, and Ford in the dust by making electric cars and trucks that are affordable first. You know what? Electric cars, I don't care how affordable they are, they're still destroying our planet by making anything new. Anything new. You can't buy your way out of this crisis. You can't purchase your way, spend money and build new things out of this crisis. It's not going to work. We need to stop using so much. We need to live locally. I don't know how many times I need to try and beat that into people's heads, but anytime you're transporting goods back and forth across oceans, you're destroying our planet. Every time you're mining for metals and anything else, you're destroying the planet. You're destroying other ecosystems, biospheres that we depend on ourselves. And I don't know how we can get that through people's heads. Horse and buggy, yeah. Well, that's a hell of a lot more ecologically responsible than what we're doing now. But there's still too many people on this planet. I don't know how many of you seen. Okay, my last video I talked about it. Sam Mitchell from Collapse Chronicles, Humpty Dumpty Drive. I think it was on Humpty Dumpty Tribe where he was talking about this book he was reading, and he was talking about the religion and all that and overpopulation. There's an issue there. Unless we understand overpopulation is an issue, until people stop having babies and down our population, I I don't know how we can fix this because there's just too many people on the planet. And when you have 250,000 new people on this planet, or more people, not just new people, more people outweighing the deaths, 250,000 every single day, and that number is increasing all the time, our population is going to double in like 30 years again. I don't think that's going to happen because I think our planet will be destroyed before then. But we keep increasing population and we can't continue this. We just can't. Sorry, hold on. Sorry.
Welcome back. Welcome back.
Sorry, I just had to escape from it. I don't even have my sound on, so hopefully y'all can hear me okay. I don't have my earphones or anything. Can y'all hear me okay?
Yeah, I see two of you too.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Why do you see two of me?
Oh, I don't know. I just been messing with you. No, and this week in the news on the sustainability aspect, we see that cruise ships are still dumping their garbage into the oceans. What else did we see?
They're fighting for that new way to transport more goods back and forth. They're fighting for drilling in oil in that new area that's being opened by the ice. I mean, how many things can humans do to destroy our ecosystems before they understand they're destroying our own life? They're destroying us.
Well, they're making it quicker because they've got the glyphosate in the Cheerios, which has been in the Cheerios for years now. I see that was a headline this week, and I'm going, really? You're just now saying this for the how many times? You've known this, Chris, haven't you, for the glyphosate? It's been in the Cheerios. Oh,
yeah, I know all about the glyphosate. Yeah. I'm not supposed to talk about it on social media.
Oh, okay. Um,
Because my company is kind of a direct competitor to glyphosate, and we could be held liable
oh,
for.
okay. Well, don't talk about it then. I just brought it up because I read it in the Cheerios thing. But
You can talk
yeah,
about it all you want. I'm not allowed to talk about
no,
it.
I also was talking to my brother who was in the Navy probably 20 years ago, and back then they threw everything that was not regulation into the ocean. Brand new equipment. You know, you talk about, he was talking about fire hoses that had brass handles on them, brand new stuff. I mean, they talk about the $500 hammer. Well, they were chucking those $500 hammers into the ocean, which is just one more thing. Do you think that they're doing anything different in the military than they did 40 years ago as far as pitching stuff in the ocean? I'm sure
No,
I'm sure there's people in the group that may have had some experience with the military and the waste factor. Haven't you stated on this show before that the military is the biggest polluter on the
yes.
planet? The US military.
And they know it, though. The Pentagon knows that. But the thing is, even though they know that, they say it is not their responsibility to deal with those issues. So they keep going, with the status quo and doing what they they do, you know, but they know that already. They know that's a big, huge threat, but that's not their job to take care of that. So they don't do anything about it.
Does that fall under national security to pitch
It
shit in the?
should, because it is national
Well, that's
security.
one of the things they were talking about in that congressional meeting on climate change is national security, what the impact was. And then some of the people on the panel, the representatives, were talking about trade. How does this impact trade? And I'm sitting there thinking,
I
listen,
don't give a fuck
that's
how it
that
impacts fucking trade.
that's what
Stop
I'm
all
thinking.
trade.
If you don't
That's
have a
the one good
planet,
thing Trump is doing.
yeah,
He stopped a lot of trade. That
yeah.
What else did he do? He legalized CBD all over the country. Those are two good things that happened. With the farm bill, CBD was legalized all over the country. Hemp growth all over the country that was decriminalized. So yay, Trump for those two fucking things. Yes, but everything else, I'm sorry. He's still trying to start a war with Iraq. He's still trying to overthrow Venezuela. Don't even get me. I don't like talking about politics on this channel at all, but it has a lot to do with what's going on, with the planet. I mean, he's still, you know, horrible for the planet with all of his fracking. Oh my God, that's another thing. They want to frack
Utah.
oil. Oh, well, they've been doing that forever, but the newest thing is right on the west shore of the Great Salt Lake, so they want to poison all that. And it's not like they've already haven't been dumping all kinds of chemicals in the Great Salt Lake and killing all the brine. It's screwed up big time. They are messing. I have personally worked for companies that utilize the water from the Great Salt Lake and poison it, and seen like canals of the sludge that is the effect of the use of the water from the Great Salt Lake. They've been poisoning that water for years and years and years, and sucking it dry. Actually, there's several companies there's Cargill, there's a titanium plant, and there's a chlorine plant, MadCorp, and everything down the line. They're all using the water from the Great Salt Lake, and they're poisoning it, and they recycle it through all these mines and stuff. And there's like these huge sludge canals. An animal gets in there and they die immediately. It's toxic. And when I was working there, I drove a truck. Oh my God! If they see this, I might get fined
Oh no, no,
$1,000. But
don't get
I don't
yourself
care.
uncomfortable.
People need to know this.
Yeah, I
This
know.
is important.
I hear you.
They would tell us if we went off the road and into this canal that there is no saving you. It is so toxic, it will kill you immediately. And yet they just keep doing this over and over again. And then you go up in Vernal where Dinosaur Land is, and all those reservoirs that are being run dry from the mining, and you see the tailings pond that they have that keeps getting bigger every year. And all this stuff is happening and no one gives a crap. Kennecott copper, the biggest, one of the biggest copper mines in the freaking planet. It has a tailings pile that goes along I-80 for like 3, 4, 5 miles. Oh no, it's freaking long. Whenever the wind blows, it goes across. It's like a big dust storm going across the highway, and you're breathing that in as you're driving past it. And they have sprinklers on it, and they say the sprinklers will keep the dust from flowing, but it doesn't. It doesn't. And that dust covers up the salt, which used to be also, the albedo effect, reflecting the sun. And that effect is going away, as well as the ice issues. And the same thing up in Vernal, where there was the white rock that's now getting covered by tailings dust from fracking. There's so much going on, and people are just da 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 da. They don't listen. They don't see this is just money, like money. Let's just get some more money from it.
So tell me about the 100-gallon drums labeled weed killer found at the bottom of a scenic Oregon lake. This is from Friday.
Oh, I didn't see that.
No,
Friday, I had no internet service.
Friday, yeah,
For like 12 hours, nothing.
yeah, they
I was
found
gonna come on Friday.
yeah,
and
they
it-
yeah, they found 18 drums, 50-gallon drums that were rusted out by remotely operated vehicles, and the drum has the 2,4D or 245T label and appears to be intact. The drums aren't leaking. That's kind of, contrary to what they just said.
2,4D is Agent Orange.
Yeah, Agent Orange. 18 drums of Agent Orange in Wallowa Lake. Is it Wallowa Lake in Oregon? They found it at the bottom of the Wallowa Lake. And what kind of sick entity would dump drums of Agent Orange into a lake, a freshwater lake in Oregon? I mean, this is not anything different than what you were just talking about in Utah. I mean, the toxicity, they're
Jeremy.
killing us.
Sorry.
So yeah, that's pretty scary stuff. I mean,
Yeah, all of our water is going to be poisoned. That's going to be one of the first things we run out of is clean water. Like that's another thing that's been happening here in Utah is one place right after the other has had a boil water warning that you have to boil your water and you shouldn't use it for showering and all that. One place right after the other in this area, that's happening. And this is in Utah. And it's happening all over the world, all over the US for sure.
what does boiling
We have to
water
see
do?
what's happening.
Boiling water only gets bacterias out. It doesn't get
I know,
chemicals
just
out,
get out
right?
the metals and the
Yeah, the
tailings.
heavy metals. Yeah, I mean,
I had a gal tweet me like a direct message on Twitter saying that she was in Utah and she thinks she got cancer from the tailings from the Kennecott copper mine, which wouldn't surprise me at all since back in the early 90s, my parents live in West Jordan, and they dug up 3 foot of soil around the house that they lived in, but they didn't do anything about where the horses were. And I've talked about this before, but they're in my earlier visit videos that only got like 30 views. But we lost 5 horses in 5 years because of colic, and colic is any kind of distress to the stomach or anything, and it could be cancer, it could be any kind of thing, but it's any distress to the stomach. And 5 horses in 5 years. I went when I lived in Silver Creek up in the mountains. We lost 1 horse to 2 horses due to broken legs in 15 years, and not any to colic up there. Then we moved down here, and there was one right after another. I swear. And I moved out here from West Jordan, and I had one almost die from colic immediately, and then lost another right after that. So pretty much 7 horses died of colic that lived in West Jordan, where those tailings piles were removed from around the houses, but not where the horses were. And I think everybody's kind of forgotten about that. I mean, they removed 3 feet of soil from the house areas. Like all the lawns were pulled up 3 feet deep to remove all the soil. It was insane. I mean, and I don't understand how my parents are Trump fans and don't get the poisoning and all that. I remember how mad they were when they found out that all of their property had to be dug up and and they forget about all that because they're watching Fox News
Well,
and
yeah, Fox News is candy coating everything for their viewership. I can't lay this all on Trump. I mean, we have two parties in one league in this country, and I know you don't like to talk about that, but the other party, the last administration, okayed a lot of this stuff. I mean, it's terrible, I got to tell you. But I did want to bring something up. Humans is talking about an issue that's close to my heart, and I was wrong about my prediction. I predicted way back
oh,
when.
Moose Gal's back. Sorry. Hi,
Yeah,
Moose Gal. Thank you for coming back.
yeah. Hi, Muscal. I predicted that they wouldn't have a 2020 Olympics in Japan because of Fukushima.
Oh, yeah.
And
And what happened?
yeah, and it's Fukushima's still burning and dumping radioactive waste. And how long can we go? Some smart mathematician out there should be able to figure out, how much that radiation is going to impact. And I've heard or I've read some places that it's the long-term effects of radiation exposure. There's a program on Netflix now about Chernobyl that I've been hearing people talk about all week, and I don't want to watch it because I'm already depressed. But what do you think about this Fukushima cover-up? It's a cover-up. I mean,
I
Obama
know
had,
it is.
yeah, Obama had the radiation detectors on the West Coast turned off. His administration, I don't know if he did, but his administration had those
Mhm.
because they didn't want mass panic or they didn't want people thinking about that. What's going on? But anyway,
They don't want to stop the machine.
they don't want
It's
to. Yeah, it's okay. Go
they
shop.
have to keep the machine going. It doesn't matter whether you're left, right, or whatever. If you're part of the elite, you're part of the machine and you don't want to stop it.
Right.
And that's why I hate talking about politics because both sides are just as guilty.
Yes, they are.
One way
Absolutely.
or another, they both are. And we're not going to stop any of this by voting. We've got to get it in the streets. We got to let everybody know that this is not acceptable. And we just got to, I want to see society collapse. I'm sorry. The longer I'm sitting there working a corporate job, that by the way, my company treats me very, very well. And I'm pretty damn good at my job, even though I hate what I do now because of the realization of how it's affecting the planet. Although I try to comfort myself by saying that I'm pushing the organic side, there's still garden chemicals. I mean, I'm putting up huge displays of fucking insecticides everywhere across 4 states and shit. Um, it I don't want to do that. And I want the corporations to and the elite to have to pay some kind of consequence for what they've done to this planet and to us. They shouldn't be able to go in peace, in quiet. They should have to pay some kind of penance for what they've freaking done to the planet and to us.
Our friend at John Uphill Media has a solution for that, and that's the guillotine. And I'm on board with him on that
Or
too.
eat the rich. Me
Yeah,
and
eat
Trent
the
are
rich.
all
Yeah,
for eat
yeah,
the rich.
yeah.
It's like if there's nothing left to eat, people, it's been proven that when people are desperate, they turn to cannibalism. And I can think of no better choice than eating the freaking rich. They're all fattened up and happy,
Yeah,
corn fed,
yeah.
perfectly ready for us to eat. Sorry, that's kind of a joke, guys. Don't take me too freaking serious on that.
I'm trying to go vegan, and you're not helping.
I'm trying to go vegan too. In fact, I was thinking of starting a second YouTube channel on my vegan um, pathway and cooking because I'm a really good cook and maybe my experiments with vegan because I am trying to go more vegan. Um, it's kind of against everything I've ever been raised with, so it's a new thing. But I'm trying and growing my garden is the first step in that. And I've been loving my salads. So my yummy salads
Don't
that
you
I make.
find working in the garden takes your mind off of this stuff? At least it
Yeah,
gives you.
that's why I have dirt under my fingernails right now. I don't know if you can see how dirty my fingernails are, but I have serious dirt under my fingernails from working in the garden today. I just harvested potatoes that I started in March, and they're perfect little baby. potatoes. They're so awesome.
Well, they used to
Oh,
say people grow potatoes under their fingernails when they get dirt under there. Is that what you're trying to do? Is grow potatoes under your
not
fingernail?
under my fingernails.
That's what the old generation used to say. Hey, go wash your mitts. Trying to grow potatoes under there? Yeah, that's what
I
they
never
used to
heard
say.
that before, but
Yeah, well, I'm
I
dating
love
myself, of
green
course.
potatoes. Okay, read some comments.
Moose Gal, Oz, and Christine, what about using the filter that comes with U.S. refrigerators in the U.S.? I refuse to use tap water. Moose Gal, I don't use. I'm in the aquifer. I have a Kangen machine and I've got two filters, and I still don't feel comfortable about it. But yeah, do what you can.
Oh, hi, Christina. Oh my gosh, Miss Gal's first name is Christina.
So
Oh,
yeah, yeah,
we're kind of sisters.
yeah.
Sisters with the same name. That's so cool.
Yeah, they're having a great conversation in chat. They're talking about the Chernobyl documentary and how it's being used about
Dude, rich head's
yeah,
curious.
yeah,
I love that.
and
You fit in just fine here, curious.
yeah, there's a great
I don't want
conversations there.
society to collapse. I need a much better job, so I would suffer a lot if our society totally takes. No, I, I see. That's one place where I'm super conflicted because
Well, Brian
I
and
don't think
Sandy said,
people should
yeah,
have to.
Brian
I
and
don't.
yeah, Brian and Sandy said they die because they need society to stay together to get their medication, right?
I know. I know. See, that's where I'm really conflicted. But at the same time, why should we have to die being slaves to corporatocracy?
Exactly.
I think we should try everything we can to become communities that depend on each other rather than the corporate world. Um, I believe in community gardens. If you have an elderly neighbor, helping them. Um, I would rather go out just working for my own good than for a corporation that has been destroying the planet. And I don't know what that looks like. I'm trying to figure that out. I mean, obviously, I don't have all the answers. I'm not telling you this is the way it should be. It's I don't have the answers. I don't know anyone who has all the answers. I just don't think that corporate America should sit there and live happy and high on the hog while we are all suffering and being slaves to them. You know what I'm? Do you understand what I'm saying? It's not. I don't want other people to suffer, but I don't think that they should reap all the benefits of our suffering.
No, I agree. But what are you going to do? It's we've been culturally conditioned since birth to perform our duty in society, to become slaves to that exact thing you're talking about. Be good producers. Look at the productivity curve going straight up, and the cost of living going up, and the wages, which are
Yeah,
not sustainable, going down. Yeah,
staying stagnant
yeah.
while cost of living goes up. Yeah, it is unsustainable, and people are going to be suffering, and that's what we got to figure out a way to stop. And I don't know what that way is. Miss Gill says, Christine, what do you both think of pollution tax? Any corporate in U.S. harms the U.S. environment? This should be part of the Green New Deal, right? Yeah, I mean, I definitely think um, any company that hurts the environment should have to pay a fortune. Um, they should have to be penalized in some way for destroying our environment. I don't know what that looks like, and I don't even know if it'll do any good at this point. But I do believe that we should do everything we possibly can. I am not one of those people that's going to roll over and say, we can't do anything. Just, let's go about our daily lives. No, I don't think we should have to go about our daily lives. I think we should live the best life we can in the end and not be corporate slaves in the end. I think they should give um, they should provide for everybody and make them live locally and only provide locally and maybe give benefits to people who grow their own food and share it with other people. Stop the freaking land tax crap. End all mortgages. Every house should have every room full because there's too many homeless people. So let people live in your house, maybe have one extra room for an office or something, but every other room should be full and no mansions that are sitting there empty for vacation homes. Make sure every person has a house, make sure every person has food, make sure every person is taken care of. Um, that's ridiculous. I know it's like unicorns, like wishing for unicorns.
Yeah, well,
But
that's
I
socialism.
really wish everyone could be taken care of in these end times, because that's what we're living in, is the end time. And that's just a fact. And I don't know how else to get that. A solution to your thinking could be co-ops, democracy in the workplace. Yeah, yeah, and I am a human, but mostly I'm a all animals, not just humans. I believe in all animals having some kind of rights to live and to thrive, not just humans. I'm not just a humanist. That's speciesist. I really believe in all ecosystems, all biospheres, all the biosphere being able to live in harmony. And that's complicated. If you have too many people, it gets really hard. That's why I'm so conflicted. I don't want anyone to suffer. I don't want any animals to suffer. Oh, Forsaken's here currently. Hi, hi, Forsaken. Need regulations. Oh, where'd it go? Where'd it go? You need regulations strictly enforced for corporations, not just carbon taxes and the like. Yes.
Yeah, there has to be some accountability when they violate those regulations
Yeah,
too.
there
Not
is none.
there is none, and the kind of money these corporations get, they don't mind paying several $100 million in fines because they make billions. I mean, it's sickening, the whole setup. Again, capital punishment when they're trying to kill us all, as far as I'm concerned. Capital to the point of make them get out there and clean up the ocean for the rest of their life, or do something.
Yeah,
I
all those people that caused it should have to pay the price with hard labor
Hard
cleaning up
labor,
that
yeah,
they
yeah.
made.
Sure, well,
But Forsaken has a great question or comment. Living with strangers doesn't work out well 90% of the time. Hell, living with family doesn't work out a lot of the time. But what I'd like to say to that is those homeless people would really love a room in a mansion, and they would gladly share it with whoever the hell is there, I think. And I don't think that is too much to ask of those people that have two, three, four, five fucking vacation houses. They should have to give them up. And you should have to, instead of getting a tax deduction for a second or third house, you should have to pay an enormous amount. Um, no, actually, you should be forced to let people live there at this point, because we are in an emergency situation, and all those people shouldn't be living on the streets when there's so many houses available, so many rooms available. I have felt I am not okay. I'm practicing what I preach. Our rooms are full except for this one. I have one guest room that I also use as a studio and storage. And but every other house, we have a four-bedroom house. Me and my husband live here. We rent out two two rooms. It's a four-bedroom. We rent out two rooms and live in one. And then we have this guest room, which is available if we have someone in need. So that is the way every household should be. You shouldn't live in a 10 bedroom house and have 8 bedrooms empty. That's just insane to me. It, and it makes me sick when people get these big, huge, ginormous houses, and they're refurnishing them, like eating up the freaking environment, just so they can have a couple extra luxuries and look better amongst their friends. Like, look what I have! Look what I have! It's fuck you. I'm sorry. I'm not impressed. You are.
it is the 1%. It's the oligarch who are the ones that are doing that. So I'm with you.
It makes me sick.
Yeah, I know, and it's nice because Moose Gal put up here, Christine, I love your ideas. I thought I was the only person that thought like you. Wow, I truly don't feel
Oh,
more alone. And you know what, Moose Gal? A
oh,
lot
I
of
love you,
us,
Miss Gal. Thank
yeah,
you, Christine, the other Christine.
yeah,
Thank you.
yeah. That
Oh
that's
my
that's really nice. And I know who whatever we disagree with in this particular group, we agree on most everything else. I truly
Yes.
believe. I really the
We
majority
have
of
a
us do.
couple little things where people are like, "Oh, this is better," but mostly we have the same goal in
Yeah.
mind.
Yeah, when we talk about solutions and things, we know that some of them might sound impractical, but they're not going to be impractical when they're absolutely necessary to have happen.
Right.
So there, again, it's back to that how we were raised, our culture, our capitalistic society. We are truly capitalistic pigs in this country. And that's
Yeah,
not
we
coming
are.
from Boris. That's coming from somebody who's lived here all of his life. So we're going to have to find a way to make things more sustainable and stretch out the lifespan of all creatures on this planet. We need to be stewards of the planet because all the money in the world isn't going to be worth a damn when it falls apart, when our infrastructure, when it collapses. And some of the people you've talked to, Christine, are talking about a big collapse within 5 years lately. I've seen that. That scares the hell out of me because when I walk outside and it's 63 degrees towards the middle of June here, that's wrong here. I mean, it's
That's
supposed to be in the mid 70s here, consistently. But the weather patterns are
they're
so
all different.
screwed
Yeah.
up. Yeah, everything's screwed up. So it's just it's crazy. And I do want to say at some point when you are ready, I want to play that clip from John that
Yeah,
we.
I want you to as well, but I just want to go really quickly before you do
No,
that.
no,
I
no.
just
I want
want
no. You can go as long as you want. Okay,
No,
I
I
can.
really don't want to keep this too long
Okay.
because I do have my husband obviously isn't going to bring my dog in from outside and he's crying.
Oh, I
Um,
can. Yeah, I can play it while
but
you go do that.
just really quick, I just want to explain what happened when the power went out because it was really insane to me. Um, so the power went out about 6:30. I just got home from work. I just plucked some greens from my garden bed and made a salad. And as I was making that salad, all the power went out. It was just gone. And so I'm trying to finish my salad in the dark. And um, yeah, our kitchen isn't very bright. We don't have any windows in our kitchen. Um, so I finished the salad and like, oh yeah, the power's out. I go put my phone in the car to make sure it has a full charge and all that stuff. And I'm like, what are we gonna do, honey? Talking to my husband, like, power's out. Let's have a visit and maybe play cards or whatever. I was kind of excited that the power was out. Is that weird? I was like, yay, it'll be like old times. And I'm like, get the lanterns and we're gonna go out to the barn and maybe play some cards and there won't be any social media. He stayed on his phone till the battery was dead on Facebook. It's like, but and then we went out to the barn, me and my daughter and her boyfriend. I call him my son-in-law, but they're not married, but it doesn't matter. Anyway, we went out to the barn with the lanterns and set up the card table and started playing blackjack and we're having a great time, with the light of the lantern. And I'm like, oh my God, this is so great. This is this is the way I love to live life. Just, no technology. It's just, old fashioned, just sitting there and associating with people. And then my husband brings the generator out, hooks it up to the barn, and turns the music on full blast. It totally ruined the whole atmosphere of the whole thing. I was so excited to have that quiet, no technology, just time with the kids and stuff. And he ruined the whole damn thing by hooking up the generator and playing music. And I'm like, oh, aren't you worried about the freezer thawing? Why don't you hook the generator up to that instead of playing music? But what is wrong with how is he gonna survive if he can't even survive without music? How many people are like that? Like, seriously. Can't survive without music or Facebook. A,
A lot of people aren't going to want to survive. They're not going to want to. Truly.
I just wanted the quiet and the
I
peace.
know.
And it was so peaceful and quiet until he turned on the damn generator and the music. It was so much fun until he did that.
You could probably live off grid. Your husband couldn't, right? Is that what you're saying?
well, he can't live without a shower when we go camping. He drives home every day to take a shower.
I know. I know. That's yeah. That's
Like, I don't
that's.
want to go home. I'm staying here. I'll do a spitz bath.
I
I'm
would.
good.
Yeah. That's. I would say that's my guiltiest pleasure in life. If there is anything that I don't want to give up, it's the ability to take a shower on a timely basis, and that's terrible, but it's true.
Oh my
That's the only
God.
thing. You take away everything. It would be shower, then music, and then whatever other bullshit. But that's my last two right there. So
I'd be okay. I could take a dip in the river or whatever. I'd be okay with that.
yeah.
But by the way, hi Jeremy. Thanks for coming. Haven't talked to you for a while. Um, is there anyone else? You're new. I can't see it. Adam Thomas. Hello. Do you want to read a couple comments and then you can get to your
No, I love the dialogue in the chat. It's great.
I
And
know. It's
thanks
just like we
for
could just stay in the chat and read. Like sometimes when I have other guests on Monday Madness, I just want to stay in the chat and read what's going on there.
yeah.
It's hard to focus while you're talking though.
Yeah, it
To
is. It
all
is
the
cuz
time you
yeah.
miss so much.
Oh
It's fun to
yeah.
go back later and watch it,
Yeah, and I'm in the
read
box
it
up here.
all.
So yeah, it's really hard and I appreciate you having me on your Saturday night special too. It's nice to get out there and let go some of my
I
emotions
feel
and
bad for
feelings.
being so long, but I do want to say that okay, Derek, I missed his. I guess our interview was supposed to be Monday. I had it scheduled on my books Tuesday last week, so I missed it. But he was kind enough to reschedule for this Tuesday. So 7 or no, not 7. I wish it was 7. 3:30 p.m. Mountain Time. So that's 2:30 your time. Hopefully you can make it up. Um, I haven't had a chance to touch base with you on that one, but Derek Jensen is coming on. And then I'm gonna be back on with Graham. That you don't have to worry about that one else because it will be on Graham's channel. I will be on Graham's channel on Friday, but it probably won't be posted till Saturday.
Uh,
And we're gonna be talking about community gardens and pre-cycling.
that's
So,
great. That's great. Graham probably likes that. It breaks him away from that. He's been raging quite a bit lately. So
yeah, he has. I love how he gets
yeah,
when he
he's
gets
been
angry.
raging big time. Yeah, I have a renewed like for Graham Elwood. He's really
Did you see
collar.
him on Lee Camp's thing, the VIP Lee Camp?
No, I haven't watched it. No, I didn't watch
Him
it.
and Ron were just on Lee Camp's show, so that was kind of cool. I'm like, and I'm following up on that. That's cool. Maybe I'll get some new viewers from that. Who knows?
Yeah, Moose Gal wanted to say she asked if we missed her comment about farmers are planting less this season. I don't know what
Oh
that's
yeah, they
about.
are planting less. Yes,
Yeah.
that's a problem, right?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go
No,
ahead.
no, go ahead. No, that's fine. I
They
interrupt you, so go for it.
they are so behind in planting, and it's not looking good because there's still flooding and water is too wet for them to plant, and they lost a lot of the storage they had. So there's kind of a problem there. It's not for now. All that's going to happen is prices are going to go up, but a really bad situation could happen really soon. So that's why I'm going to be talking to Graham about the community gardens or what you can do if you live in an apartment, how you can be a part of growing your own food, even if you're in an apartment where you don't have the ability at your property to do it. And pre-cycling, it's kind of an important thing to get involved with community and buying local and not utilizing plastics and all that. So that's why I'm going on with Graham. So hopefully you catch that, and that should be good.
Yeah, I'd
So,
like to restream that too. That'd be great. I'll restream it to your channel. That'd be wonderful.
oh yeah, if you
Yeah,
could.
yeah.
That's going to be with Graham, so we might have to get his permission, but we can
Now,
talk.
is it live or is it going to be recorded?
It's going to be
Oh
recorded.
well, okay. I thought it was going to be live. Sorry. No, that's great.
He
Did you?
always records. I'd rather go live, but he always records.
Yeah, yeah, a lot of them do. He pops in. He's been doing some short live stuff with Ron and some of the other folks too. So, again, did you want to
Yeah, play
go?
that. Play it.
Okay, and can you come back after you do the dog and stuff? I know you can hear it, but
Yeah,
I'd like to hear some thoughts from some of the folks. It's like 10 minutes, but that should give you time
yeah, it
to
is.
do it.
I'll go get my dog while you're
Okay,
playing that because
just
I've
make
already seen it. It's so heart-wrenching.
just make sure that the sound is.
It's
Tell me.
someone
Yeah.
getting it. It's someone
Yeah,
understanding what's actually going on. Um, it's insane. It's really heartfelt. You guys have to see it. I
just
Yeah,
let me know
it's so cool.
if we've got sound with it. I want to make sure we've got sound. And I want to say
Yeah.
he talks about his mom in here, taking care of his mom. I took care of my mom. She was paralyzed in bed for 8 years, and I
Oh my
took care of
God.
her 8 years. So I can relate to what John's saying because my mom basically was in the same situation for 8 years. But anyway, just let me know if you can hear the sound here. And Christine, as soon as it finishes up,
Oh, Pat, the Batman fan made Graham's logo. That's so
Yay! That's
cool.
cool. That's way cool.
That's awesome.
Make Gotham great
Last
again, right?
Saturday, UHM is about bees. Oh, cool.
Yeah, the bees. This
Yeah,
is
yeah, it was about the bees, but then the ending thing was really
yeah.
cool too.
This is
I loved it all. It was really
everybody. Yeah, everybody should watch that and this particular part. So let me know if you've got sound on this, and I'll start it.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay, let him know. I'm gonna go take care of my dog real quick while this is playing.
Do we have sound? Have sound. Have sound. Have sound. Have sound. Have.
We have lots of sound.
Do we have sound? Is there sound?
I just hear you going, do we have sound, sound, sound?
Tell me we have sound.
Graham is a good guy, known him for ages. Yes, he is an awesome guy. I love Graham.
I want to make sure we.
Oh yeah, bring a towel, right? First side, that's, yeah. Okay, it's not playing. Are you meaning it to play? I don't see it.
No, we don't have sound.
We don't even have the video. I don't see the video.
Oh, it's in there. Okay, I'm going to cue it up on the other machine. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, just bear with me.
I'm gonna go grab my dog and let him
Okay. Yeah,
in.
go grab your dog and let him in, and
I'll-
then we'll go from there.
I will be back, guys.
Okie dokie. All right, everybody. Bear with me. Just a short time here, really quick. I'm so sorry about that. I just want to make sure that you hear this. It's really important. I believe it's very important for everybody to give this a listen. But thanks again for everybody for coming in and listening to me blather on Christine's wonderful channel. I absolutely love it here, and I think the group's fantastic. I just, again, I just really would like everybody to let me know if you hear this. And here it comes right about now. I'm going to try and start it where it needs to start. And let's run it over here. Here we go. And coming back up. Okay. I think I've got it. There's Big John and Marcus from Uphill Media, some of our very good friends and our sister station over there. And I'm going to start it. 2, 3, 1. Hopefully we can hear it.
Why is this concern?
Great.
This is only another fig leaf because it means nothing, but it's a promo thingy.
No, optics. Optics are important as we die.
Yes.
Gotta look good. So now we're on to my subject.
Do we have
This is
sound?
basically more climate stuff. And this is the heavy stuff. So I'm just going to tell everybody right now that we're getting into some heavy stuff. If you want to leave, this is the best time. We've had a great time talking about bees, and then we talked about some stuff in Germany and Marcus's parties. But now we're going to look at the reality of the climate crisis. And we're going to talk about facing the reality of the climate crisis as human beings and what that means. And
Okay,
it's all
I'll get rid of
heavy,
the echo.
And it's not happy. So I suggest if you don't want a sad moment, go smoke a bowl, get out of here. I just need to talk about this honestly for me. This is part of my therapy because I'm
Okay, the echo's
struggling
out of
with
there.
the
Sorry,
grief
guys.
that I'm facing every day about the complete destruction of our environment,
Thanks, human.
which I see a lot of because I sit here in this box a lot. those of you who do not know, because we have a lot of new followers, by the way. So hi, new followers and new subscribers and everybody. Thanks for that beautiful boost by the wonderful show that Laura Livegood did the other day with the KDEM special report. And that was awesome to have John Graziano and Tina Desiree Berg and Pat Cody on. And they had a phenomenal discussion. I'm hoping we do more of those. Thank you all who watched and shared. I have been dealing with, I sit here and I see, I mean, you guys got to know, like, my job is I have a 1 acre of, like, the most amazing amount of plants, flora, fauna, wildlife you've ever seen. It's like an entire botanical garden packed into an acre. I didn't make it. I just maintain it. The people that lived here for 30 years before me, they made it. All right. So I was blessed, and I'll use that word, with my partner to come here and be able to care for this most amazing piece of land. And it is in stark contrast to what I see in this box. When I come in my garage, I get to look at the full assault of climate on Earth, right? And I get to realize that we are responsible. We did this. And it hits me like a fucking brick every time I read another article. Here's Japan heat wave kills 5 people. This was on May 27th. And then this was on May 29th. More than 500 tornadoes in the last 30 days. Last year, the average or whatever it is like 279, 300 tornadoes. We had more than 500. To the guy out there on Twitter who was saying, tornadoes are decreasing in amount. You're right. And that's irrelevant. You know, it's really irrelevant. If you haven't seen what's going on in the Midwest in the United States of America, you should take a peek. Because it's pretty fucking biblical. And I find that quite fitting because it's devastating the Bible Belt, which is full of a bunch of fucking climate deniers who voted for this. So I feel bad for everybody in these states that is aware of the climate crisis and that is feeling the impact of the climate crisis because people are dying. It's not like, I mean, and go watch the Weather Channel. Seriously, the best thing we could possibly do to convince centrists that this is real is to just turn on the Weather Channel and sit them in front of the fucking Weather Channel. Weather Channel's been running bit after bit on the problems with the climate crisis, explaining the science, explaining what's going on, and tying it to money. Tying it to how much billions and billions and trillions of fucking dollars it's costing us. Never mind that we've annihilated whole species. Never mind that I don't see nearly, half the bugs that I used to see around me, right? Never mind the obvious destruction we see. Just try to convince every centrist around you that it's going to cost us too much. We'd save money if we saved the human species. It's just amazing, right? The cognitive dissonance just blows my fucking mind. The continental U.S. just had the wettest 12 months in 124 years on record, and this was on May 30th. That hasn't stopped. There's more water on the way, folks. We're in hurricane season right now. Right? I mean,
It's rain.
Yeah, make it rain. The article that I really want you to pay attention to, though, is by Dar Jamal, or Jamail. I hope I really want to interview this guy someday, and I'm going to pronounce his name correct when I do. He's been writing a lot about dealing with grief and facing the reality of what we have done to this planet. And I have been struggling with that for a while. And it's very personal. And what I have done to try to even cope with the grief that I feel every fucking day is to go out of my box and care for the acre. It is the only thing I can find that balances out the grief that I feel looking at all of the death that we have caused from our fucking stupidity and our greed. And I loathe the human species right now. And the only thing I can do to feel better about that, which is really what it's about. It's very selfish. I don't want to feel like an absolute fucking piece of shit. I want to die knowing that I did everything I possibly could to make it better. But in order to reach that point, you have to face the fucking reality of what we've done. It hurts. It hurts. It hurts so fucking much. It's unbelievable. I want to read you these words. This is long. I'm going to read you these words. I'm going to go as quick as I can because this is just amazing. And there's a link to a woman's work named Joanna Macy. And it's finding work with purpose. Doing something right now while we watch our entire biosphere fall apart that brings purpose to you. And it's hard to do when we're all trying to work jobs and we hate our fucking jobs. We got to work these jobs because, capitalism. But we have never experienced anything like this. We are living within the full knowledge of our collapsing biosphere and watching huge portions of it vanishing before our very eyes. Meanwhile, the industrial growth society, right, continues to grind on and this veneer of normalcy persists. That's what eats at me, is that this bullshit facade that everything's okay continues. And I'm waiting. I've been pulling on a wire and it will not break. Turning up a dial, I hear no sound, and that is I want to see humanity wake the fuck up and panic. That's what Greta's been waiting for. And while millions of people around the world are waking up, the people that aren't fucking waking up are the people in power. The ones we need to wake up. The people working the oil rig. I don't care about your fucking jobs. I just gotta be honest. I don't care about anybody's job. I care about the survival of our planet and our species. Fuck capitalism and fuck our jobs. Our jobs should be caring for this fucking planet. That's what my job is. I'm very proud of that job. But I'm lucky enough to be able to do that job because I live with a partner that unfortunately has to spend her time working a fucking job that is fucking meaningless. Right? It's fucking servitude. It's disgusting.
Yeah.
It's fucking disgusting. We are having a great awakening, but this guy's been talking about giving lectures and discussing his own grief. His experience has shown him that by facing what is happening head on, allowing our heart to break, which is happening to me daily, unfortunately. I spend my mornings grieving, talking to plants. Last night, I was looking at the sunset. It was an amazing fucking sunset. And there was a swarm of bugs, which I was happy to see. Just a swarm of gnats. How many times have you been like, fucking get out of gnats? I was like, hey, ball of gnats. How are you? And I reached up my hand, and it kind of swarmed all down my hand. And I was like, hey, I'm so glad you're fucking here. I appreciate your existence. And I walk around my yard and talk like that all the time. I probably seem like a fucking lunatic to everybody around me. I don't give a fuck. I wish every human being talked to the life around them that way and treated it with respect. That's what we're supposed to be fucking doing. And it's so frustrating. I scream and scream. My neighbors know I'm a fucking nut. I'll come out here at 4 o'clock in the morning and be like, fuck you all. You fucking... Because what do you fucking do? And then I get in my car and I drive to Safeway. Because I can't escape the systems we put in place that continue to fucking destroy our planet.
I know what you mean.
I'm... Joanna Macy. Refusing to feel pain and becoming incapable of feeling the pain, which is actually the root meaning of apathy. Refusal to suffer. That makes us stupid and half alive. And that is what we are as a fucking species. Stupid and half alive. Macy told me in an interview, she described how the refusal to feel pain doesn't mute the sense that there is something wrong, which is really fucking important. Humanity knows something's wrong. Even the dumbest motherfucker in Alabama knows there's something wrong. Sorry, Alabama, I'm gonna pick on you because you're fucking stupid. Just really fucking stupid with your government lately. And your abortion and your fucking law school. Even the dumbest motherfucker in Alabama feels something wrong. The problem is they're too fucking stupid to know what it is, so they take that out, they project that on something else. And as she says, usually it's fucking marginalized communities, minorities. It's Muslims, right? They're the problem. They're the reason I feel upset. I'm too uneducated and fucking ignorant to recognize that it's my connection to this planet that's the problem. So I'm going to blame it on the black person or the brown person or whatever, the libtard. Because we all as a species are feeling this. We're feeling it. We know. We're in the pot. We're feeling it. It's hot. Right?
Oh, yeah.
And you know, not feeling the pain is extremely costly. Yeah, it's cost us our fucking species. It's cost us our fucking species. Macy created a framework for personal and social change called Work That Reconnects. I put a link to this in the description, and I'm going to look at it. There's also a link to this article. I'm only covering a few pieces of the article, and I don't mean to lecture you. I said I was doing this piece for me today. I just need to get it off my chest. I just need to tell everybody, if you're not panicked, and this is what Greta means by panicking. Let me tell you how I came to that and why I'm so frightened of it. I watched my mother die very slowly and horribly from cancer. She had tumors that were just all inside her body. You could see them poking out of places in her body. It was frightening. Could you imagine being a human being knowing that you've got tumors growing around your heart, your lungs, and your internal organs, and you're just waiting for them to crush them enough for you to die? That was her death for months. And the only thing that kept her sane was morphine and fentanyl. Because once you're on those, you don't remember that your lungs and heart are being crushed by tumors and you can't really feel them. But as that wears off, there comes a point where if you don't dose up in time, you remember. And I can't tell you how many fucking times my mom would go, and would come to me and say, I'm gonna die. I can feel it. And I would go, I know. Do you want some morphine? Do you want a fentanyl patch? Or do you want to be cognizant of it? And my mom would always go back and forth. Sometimes she didn't want to be drugged. She just wanted to, you know? But that's what I do every day with the environment. Did you see what just happened? The thing is, you can't go up to the average human being on the street and say that. You can't even go to your partner in the next room. They're not experiencing that right now. Right? And that's the problem. Not everybody's panicking. Not everybody has gone. We all need to do that as a fucking species. We need to do that if we're going to survive. And that is what I have been struggling with. That is what I have been struggling with is coming off the morphine. You know? And so, I know this was really hard to listen to, and I'm sorry. This is the final stage. It says, Dear reader, I urge you to find your own work that reconnects, or to find another way to ground yourself. As you read on, and as we each travel through another crisis-ridden day into an increasingly bleak future. Because that's what's happening. And I'm not saying it's hopeless, because we all have hope. I have hope that our efforts will lead to a better planet. And that's the only hope I have. That my responsibility will allow me to die a little peacefully. I don't know.
Yeah. Thank you, John. It was very, very moving. And coming to the last thing you said.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's never easier to hear. It's this.
No,
I
I tear up because I had to put fentanyl patches on my mother. I had to give her swabs in her mouth for 8.5 years. I watched her die, and she just held on so she could watch her granddaughter grow a little bit. And so it really, and a lot of the comments in here was about John, how well he expresses himself on this particular
He
issue.
does.
He really does, and he gets the
Yes,
point
and
across.
if you don't watch Uphill Media, you should.
Yeah, he's real. He's a real person, you know, and he freely
He
admits
is.
his issues and everything else. I admire and I respect that guy, and I respect everybody there. Yeah, and you've been on there before too, Chris. Yeah.
I've been on there for a few months. I was on there like every week, and I really love and respect John like no other. We had one little tiny issue because he didn't believe in the overpopulation issue. He thought that was a conspiracy. And so I kind of withdrew a little bit, but I don't know if he's getting that part of it. I have no idea, but either way, he understands the other, the other part of it, and that's important. At least understand one part of it, whether whether you relate to the overpopulation, whether you relate to the biosphere destruction, whether you relate to the environmental destruction. Um, at least embrace and fight for something.
Yeah.
One of those things, because one of them has to be touching you at this point in your life. Um, but John is amazing, and I was watching the comments, and there was, when he was talking about the morphine and the fentanyl and all that, and yeah, people are going to need a stress reliever, and at this point in time, while we have a prohibition on marijuana, that shouldn't be a prohibition on a natural plant that could help a lot of people deal with the stress that we're all going to be going through right now.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah.
yeah, I'm sorry. I feel very strongly that we need to legalize that everywhere. And Utah's going through, we just overwhelmingly passed the medical marijuana bill, but between the church and the legislature, they diluted it to where it's useless. And there's people going, which kind of made me happy. There's people, going out there and putting themselves out there saying, yeah, we'll still get it illegally because, you know, this bill is useless. So we're gonna go through,
They're going to have to. Yeah.
sources.
They're
And that's, I can't believe they said that actually on the local TV channels. It's like, okay, so I feel more comfortable saying that I'm growing my own right now, because how can I handle this stress? And CBD oil, which is legal right now, is so expensive. It costs $40 for 2 weeks supply of CBD oil.
Yep.
And it's not covered by our HSA. And that's how okay, if they go ahead and legalize it, but the average person can't afford it. How do you afford $40 every 2 weeks working the average job
Yep.
for medication when you have to pay rent and put food on the table?
Yeah,
Just
Anthony Davis said Valium or lorazepam or Xanax is sometimes helpful in small doses, but highly addictive. And yes, and they're having record outages of lorazepam and those other things right now, because we have the new thing now, which isn't so new, is they call it climate grief. And I believe climate grief is going to overtake so many other aspects
and
of
climate anxiety.
climate anxiety. Yeah.
I'm not as so depressed as I am anxious. I wake up in the morning and I'm thinking, oh my God, how much time do we have left? There's a thunderstorm, and you see five fires on Friday. 5 fires started by lightning here in June, when we've had one of the wettest years we've ever had, and 5 fires were started in the mountains from thunderstorms.
Yep.
And then on top of that, there was like tons of power poles down and tons of power outages. It's only going to get worse and worse and worse.
Yep.
And how do you deal with that? And we need some kind of relief. It's like when the prohibition happened the first time on alcohol. People went to Mexico. They started, the black market on alcohol and all that, and the drug, or the alcohol runners, and that's when they developed cocktails and all that stuff. You're not going to stop it. And it's going to become more and more prevalent because people need a relief. They need some sort of escape from reality, and especially when all of the people in power aren't doing anything. They're doing nothing.
Nothing.
And then they're starting to make bills against protesting.
Yep.
So you can't even protest what the elites are doing. And so many people in this state, especially, they hate protesters. They think protesters are evil. And I'm like, but isn't that what America is about? Is if you don't like what the government is doing, you protest it, and they're not allowing that?
we
And
had
that's what
yeah.
causes me anxiety. You can't do anything. You can't do
No.
any. All I can do is what I'm doing now, which is do this show that I do, and come before all of you and just pour my heart out and share with you all my concerns, my anxieties, and everything. And uh, that's my job keeps me so busy. Uh, I just got tickets for getting my windshield having too many cracks in it, because not because I didn't have insurance to cover it, because I have full coverage glass and everything. I could get it, but I didn't have enough time off work to do it. I couldn't schedule an appointment because I don't know what my schedule is from day to day. I could work till 3, or I could work till 8 p.m. at night. I have no idea. So I couldn't schedule it. And then I got a ticket for that, and I have to pay a freaking ticket for that. And oh my God, it's like they keep pushing on the poor. Like, you can't afford to get your car registered, so let's okay, write you a ticket. You got to pay a fine for that. Like, everything is based on money. If you have enough money, you can get away with anything.
Anything.
And that is so wrong. It is just wrong. The whole way our civilization is set up is so wrong. It's just flat out wrong. And we need to change that. And we can't do that through voting, because our elections are fucking rigged. So what do we do? What do we do?
Get in the streets.
Get in the streets. But now they're going to arrest everybody that's in the streets. Not that I'm saying you shouldn't, because you should.
No, there's
And
gonna.
you should cause as much noise as possible. And now they're censoring YouTube videos,
Oh yeah.
and if you call for that kind of thing, they're going to shut you down. But I'm going to do it anyway till they do shut me down.
Yep.
I will.
Yep.
I'm small enough channel. I'm under the radar right now, but I will do it till my very last breath.
Well,
stop it.
You know that I've recently found out that I have a heart condition. I am convinced. I'm convinced that all this shit over the last several years has helped me make this heart condition that I've had, and it doesn't get any better.
My anxiety. It's all because of all this.
It's all this shit. You know, you talk about free speech. During the George G. Bush administration, they had free speech zones. That's nothing compared to what they're doing now. You know, just with social media, they're going to be doing this in public, and they're making the laws, like you said. You know, the First Amendment. What's that?
We're becoming fascist.
Yeah, it is fascist, and both parties are behind it. Both parties. It's not a Trumper or Democrat.
Neighbors, I would so hang out with you. Sorry.
Oh yeah, and
I have so many friends on here. Sorry, I just appreciate everybody on here. I would love to hang out with Jilly and Shiva and Veg. I get at least hang out with you, electronically. But anyone else who wants to jump on, just like an invite while y'all are here. Yeah. Even Book Hermit, I would love. I know I've invited you before, and you won't do it, but I just love hanging out with you guys, and I really appreciate all of you. I just want to tell you that. Sorry, I did not mean to interrupt you, Oz.
No, that's okay. I try and jump in when I can, and I've got to say to everybody here too, I get the opportunity to hang out with many of these people in other shows and channels. So I see so many people that are on Uphill Media in here, Jilly and Human and Shiva and Pat and Jeremy, all of them. And I'm just glad that I get a chance to say that to them publicly here. Thank you, Christine. I appreciate it.
Well, you're my man.
Oh, I appreciate that. That's
you help me out so much. Yeah. I love you, and thanks to your wife too for making this all possible, because I know wives are a huge part of the process, just allowing it.
It does strain the thing, but I told her, I said, because she's concerned about my health and she wants me to stay out of it as much as possible, not get so worked up. But I can't walk away from this, because I would be diminished. Like John said, he's got to cope with it.
Outlet.
I need it.
We need this outlet for sure, and I got to thank you for making my husband feel very comfortable about having you being a part of it, because you always, bring him in the conversation whenever he's around, and that makes it easier for me to do what I do. I think you've eased his mind a lot on this, so thank you so much for that, Oz.
Yeah, and again, thanks for doing the Saturday night special here. This has been great. I will let you finish out here with everybody, and I know that you've got, it's almost 10 o'clock there. Huh, okay.
Oh my God. Yeah, it is. Oh, yeah. Thanks, guys, for putting up with me. I'm sorry. It's weekend. No makeup. I hate wearing makeup on the weekend. I really, really, really do. And didn't turn out too bad. I don't think I looked too atrocious. I didn't scare too many of you away. So, because it taxed on sliding scale depending on the level of the active psychoactive ingredient THC is in any given product. I don't care how they legal. They should let you grow your own because it's just a freaking plant. Some nice music at the end. Okay. Vegematic has a really cool video, by the way, that he has made for me. We're thinking of using it as an intro. I really want to incorporate Osama's music into it somehow. We're working on it. I haven't talked to him about that exactly yet. Sorry, Veg. That's just Osama. I don't know where Osama is, but we've been talking in the background. You didn't even notice? Really? That I'm not wearing makeup? Well, cool. Maybe I won't wear it more often because I hate putting on makeup. Makeup is such a pain in my ass. I hate it so bad. 4:47. Chris, you need to go to bed. Chris Foster, it's 4:47 over there in the morning. He's been up all night. Oh, but thank you for showing up. That's pretty awesome. Anthony, you're sweet. No makeup needed. You're sweet. You guys are all sweet. Jilly, thank you for coming. I really, really would love to have some talks with you about my plants because I need help. Because they're still not quite there yet, and I'm waiting. Going to Torstein. Sun up in 40 minutes here. Have you been up all night? Ah, bitch. I like the natural look. Anthony Davis, good night, peace. Peace to you too. Okay, go to bed, Torstein. This gal, thank you. I don't want to go into the streets because I don't want to go to jail for civil. I know, right? Like, that's the thing. They're keeping people out of the streets because they're throwing them in jail. And don't even get me started on Julian Assange and free speech. There's a problem. You don't need to make up. You're fine as can be. Thanks, Jeremy. You're so sweet. One of my very first subscribers was Jeremy Chase. He's a sweetheart. Anita. Oh, I love Anita too. She's the one that named Monday Madness. Check my vid later tonight. Yeah, okay, I will. As soon as I'm off, I'll go check out your video. Pat, Batman fan, thanks for coming as always, and don't forget to show up on. Oh, I wish Graham would do a live video with me. Damn it! Tell him if you're friends with him. Tell him I'd rather be live than recording. I hate recording. Oh my God! Now the comments are coming in too fast. Dorsey never sleeps in summer. I don't blame him because it's hard to go to sleep when it's not dark. You're far enough north, the sun is always up. Okay, sorry, I get caught up reading these Peter Bergs. Hi, Peter. It's wine time in Brisbane. Oh, all the way from Australia. Who knows what time it is? And Human, thank you, Human, as always, for being there. You're always the bomb with all the great links. Okay, you guys, it's time to go to bed. All of you are up way too late, including me. Even though it's a Saturday, so it's not that bad. But be back for Monday and Tuesday. Derek Jensen will be live. So if you have questions for him, we're going to be discussing his Bright Green Lies book, and so excited about that. We're going to go into deep detail of why wind, solar, and hydro will not save us. So we're going to try to hopefully come up with some other solutions. Anyway, Trev, love you. I know I don't know how to do Discord. I'm sorry, Trev. If you want to help me out with that, you're more than welcome. Good night, you guys. Okay, I'm totally gonna go to good night. Thank you, Oz, for joining me tonight. That was a distinct pleasure to have you on with me, and thank you for showing that video and producing this, because you got to show that video and it was amazing with Uphill Media. Guys, don't forget to go on Uphill Media and subscribe if you're not. John is amazing. I've followed him for 4 or 5 years now, and he's just amazing. He is. Never find shirts. Okay, I won't wear makeup if I don't have to, but when I come off of work, I'll be wearing makeup. Can't deal. Love you. We'll talk to you later. Have a good night. Okay, I'm not gonna worry about makeup on the weekend. You guys made me feel good. Thanks. If you want to hang out with your viewers, you should get the. Okay, well, I need someone to set that up for me because I'm not good with Discord. I have no idea. I'm on Discord. I just don't know how to set up my own, if that makes any sense. We'll keep in touch, guys. Yeah, uphill rocks. Oh, Stinkfin. Good night. Thanks for coming. I didn't even see you earlier, but thanks for coming. Grandma's still sorting out his tech stuff hard without help. I know. Trust me, I know more than anybody. Okay, guys. All right, we're gonna do the bye-bye sound. Love you guys. Thank you, Torstein. Have a good night, guys. We'll talk to you soon.